Okie dokie, so I have got my scarf in my little bit of water. Normally you would put it in a basin of water, but I haven't got a basin beside me. So I've put my scarf in my little bit of water and I'm just going to wring out the excess. And you can see the difference from my little 1 teaspoon of granules, how it's become a puffy, filled up pouch. It's amazing. You do not want to put any more than 1 teaspoon of granules. So now I can put this around my neck and it's going to be amazing because it's lovely and cool. So you know, it's a really good thing to make. It certainly keeps you nice and cool. Now also during the break, the old cameraman, you know, sometimes he has some good ideas, decided that for these bunny bags you could stuff the ears with stuffing so that they came out a little bit stiffer, and it does look quite cute. So and then he said also for children they could play around with that because it could move. So I would stitch across the bottom of the ears here and here so that the stuffing didn't go elsewhere. But yeah, it's quite cute. So there's another little idea. So you can put a little bit of the wadding or stuffing in there. I haven't trimmed all my threads, I can see there. There we go. So you can just put a bit of wadding in there and it just makes it sit a little bit flatter. So you can either have the old flopsy ears or the stuffing ears. So there you go, there's a choice as well. Okie dokie. So now we're on to the machine cover. Now this great idea was on a Bernina blog, and before we go to that we're going to go over here apparently. So just to let you know, over the last month we have been to Bernina conference, and Bernina Taringa was awarded the Bernina Dealer of the Year from Bernina, New Zealand, and we're also, we got the Large Centre Award, which went to us, which is a top store for a large centre. So that was a really nice achievement. With the awards, there's a lot of criteria that you have to cover, but it was nice that Bernina, New Zealand recognised all the hard work we have done. So yeah, so I thought I'd just like to share that with you as well. So lucky I was reminded. Righty-ho, we'll pop our bunny bags back. Now, so now we're going on to this great machine cover. Now the idea of this machine cover I saw on a blog the other day, and I have all my machines set up in my classroom, and I do put a cover back on them every day. But I do get people in and they want to make a machine cover, but they don't want to do all the work. So this is a very quick idea that you can do. I've done the beautiful Bernina embroidery on our new Bernina 500 sewing machine. So this machine here is our new range of sewing machines, and I'm just going to go and turn it on. There we go. This one's called the B500, and it is just an embroidery machine. So the font that's been done on that has been done on this machine. Beautiful machine. So if anyone's interested in machine embroidery, it doesn't do any ordinary sewing, it just does machine embroidery, and it's got 8.5 inch gap between here and here, which is wonderful, and all the wonderful stitches. This one's great sewing machine, it's very cool, and all the wonderful stitches are already inbuilt in the machine. I'll just show you this while we're talking about the new machines. So they're called the 5 series, and there's 4 machines in the range. So this is the B500, which is just embroidery. Then they're all the same size. And then there is the B535, which is a sewing machine, but the same size. Then there is the B570QE, which comes with the BSR and the dual feed. And then there is the B590, which is the same size as this, but it's a sewing machine and it comes with the embroidery unit as well. So these pamphlets are readily available if you're interested. You can have a look on our, wrong page, you can have a look on our website, which is mybernina.co.nz, and you can see all the machines in the range, and you can come and store, because we have every one of them, and you can have a look at what they're like. So if you're thinking of upgrading, it's a very good upgrade. Now, one of the reasons why Bernina have done this, A, the size of the machine, and B, the size of the bobbin case. Now the bobbin case on these machines is the same as the B7 series. So the bobbin and bobbin case are very, very large. This bobbin case here takes about 75 meters of metrosine, so you're not running out of thread so quickly. So it's a wonderful, wonderful bobbin case, and we've had it for a while on the 7 series, and now they've made it to go in the 5 series. So 8.5 inch, this is about, let's have a look. This machine here is from needle to end, 6 1/4. 6 1/4 from here to the needle, and this machine here is 8.5. So if I measure from here to here, it's actually, to my needle, it's 8 3/4 to my needle. All right, so it's a very, very wide area for you to be able to put your work in if you're quilting or sewing or embroidering, and it gives you a lot more scope. So you know, they do improve machines for a reason. Now if I was going to make a cover for this machine, all I need to do is, I'll show you on this one, is I need to measure from here to here, and that's 40 centimeters, and I need to measure from the back of the machine all the way around to the front of the machine, which is 73 or 74 centimeters. And this is the area from this side all the way to that side. If you'd like to do the cutout for your sew table, you just measure up the height of the sew table, and this one has got lovely side ties on it. Alright, so it makes it nice and easy to take on and off. Now, if you have a look, all it is one piece of fabric. Okay? I'm going to make one today and show you done with a fabric that goes one way. So what I want to do is I want to have this fabric on the front of my machine, and I don't want it upside down on the back. So what I've done is I've split the fabric, and I'm going to have that on the back of my machine. Okay, so this is the front and this is the back. So now I'm going to put right side to right side, like so, and I'm just going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam. Now I've found a way of cheating and making it really quick to make one of these, so my ladies are extremely happy, and it's very, very good for the class because they can make them very quickly. So when you're doing something like this, just put your 2 pieces together, pop a couple of pins in the top, and work from the side where you can see a definite line. So I've turned it over because I can see a definite line there to sew. So it may be a bit more than 1/4 inch, it may be exactly a 1/4 inch, but I'm sewing on that line. So have your needle down, and I'm just going to follow that line, and it's got little bobbins along there, and I take the pin out and I'm just going to whip across there. Once again, you don't need to use your overlocker, you don't need to clean finish these because they're all going to be enclosed in a binding. So I'm going to pop this along here, and then I'm just going to press that seam, and I'm going to open that out like that, and I'm just going to press the seam there. Oh, actually the seam can go one way because it really doesn't matter. Then from the right side, make sure that you're happy with the finish. It looks really, really nice. And there I have the front and the back of my cover. Oops. And I need to then do my little cutout. Okay? So I think I'll quilt this first because then I might use that quilted bit of cutout for something else. Now, how do you make it so quick and easy that you'll have it started and finished in no time? Well, you can buy pre-quilted fabric. So this wonderful pre-quilted fabric, it comes in cream and it comes in white, and it's cotton. So this is calico on this side, and the other one's white calico, and then it's got your padding and your backing all in here. Now one of my ladies decided she's just going to have that as her cover, and she's just done appliques all over it. Do whatever you like. But for you ladies, if you want to do this method, just turn it with the wrong sides facing up. Place your fabric over top. Always have your wadding a little bit longer and wider. And you could spray base that on, or you could just pin it in a couple of places, because you're going to stitch from the other side. So let me show you how quick and easy it is to do this. It's absolutely brilliant. Make life so easy because there is no work. And I'm just going to do half of it here. So I'm going to leave my cream thread on, right? I'm going to turn it over to the wrong side, and I'm simply going to place my walking foot on. Now if you've got a machine with dual feed, you just pull the dual feed down and it will work the same as a walking foot. Now remembering I have had my stitch length on very small because I've been doing my scarves. I'm now going to put my stitch length on for quilting, so it's going to be 3 to 3.5. Okay? Bring my needle down through my walking foot. Now remember, your walking foot is designed to sew the fabric forward and reverse. Sew the fabric, so the top fabric and the bottom fabric go evenly, so you don't get an uneven finish. So I'm going to start from the corner of my fabric, and I'm going to do my first row here, which is the first line that I can see, and I'm not going to backstitch it. I'm just going to sew through my lines. Brilliant, you've got lines to follow. Instead of doing every first line, I'm going to jump over and do every second line. So it's very easy. So it's a really great cheats way of quilting a bag, quilting a quilt, quilting a machine cover. And I've just had a thought for the grandies for winter. Very good idea, because they're all at daycare and school and kindy and all these things, is you could just get some of this quilted fabric and you could put polar fleece on the other side. You could quilt the fabric and then you could make a little vest for them to go to kindy or daycare, or just to go and play outside. So just run it along every second row. Well, this one doesn't have needle up. I think I'll put needle up for what I'm doing. And I won't do a lot of it obviously, but you've got to remember where you're up to, because I'm doing cream thread, so that can be a bit funny. So I'll do one more row and then I'll show you. You then go the other way. So you can see how easy it is, because you're working with cotton fabrics. It's not hard. And then you're going to go back the opposite way. So you just start off, and you could do every row the opposite way if you like. There are no rules. It's very simple. So the cutters on the side of your machines are very handy. One of the ladies didn't understand that you do have to clean your cutters out. So sometimes it does pay to clean them out, and I'll show you how this one comes off in a minute. So there's my second row, 1, 2, 3 here. It's pretty easy to find out where you're up to. You just turn your fabric over and you can see where you're up to. And this is giving lovely big squares on the other side. You don't have to be absolutely perfectly accurate. 1, 2, 3. Have I done this one? No, I've done that one. I'm up to here. So you can easily see where you're up to. Yep. So see how quick it is? It's great. Such a great idea. It's about $20 a metre. It's not expensive and all the work is done. Do one more row. Then I can show you how to do the corners. I'll show you how to do a curved corner, and I'll also show you how to do a rounded corner, so you know how to actually do it. So in the instructions, they just use bias binding to finish their bag, their cover, but I like to make my own bindings. Oops, better not sew that in. Go. So now you can see, I thought I had caught something. One moment while I just do a little bit of back stitching on one part because I didn't pin it. Very, very quick and easy to undo because it's three length stitch, so I'll just restitch that one there. Oops. Should have pinned it a little bit more. And go back to where it needs to start and then reverse. There we are. Problem solved. Okay, so if you have a quick look, you can already see it's starting to crisscross beautifully there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, this here is going to be the front of my bag, so I'm going to curve that corner, and this here I'm going to cut out, and I'm going to square this corner because I want to show you how to do both methods. So I'm going to be cutting off some of that work but keeping it, because I might use that quilted piece for something later on. So I'm going to go straight across here. And I'm going to come straight, actually I'm going to leave these corners square, and I'm going to curve the other corner, I've decided. So I'm going to leave these corners nice and square. And I'll just show you how you do those. Go. I'll square that one. Oh, the decisions in life are huge. No, I'll curve these ones and I'll square this one. Decisions in life. So I'm just checking I've done enough quilting to show you. So that one's going to be squared. This one's going to be curved. So to curve it, just sew a cut and just go around a curve. Just so I can show you how you do your curves. And you can curve this one in here too. Right, okie dokie, so there's my curved edges. So I'll pop that one back on there so you can see that. And I'll pop that down there. And then you can decide if you want to put pockets and things on them as well. So I'd finished quilting all of that. And I have the spare fabric I have interfaced with iron-on interfacing, and I'm just going to put a top stitch on that. So I'm just going to stitch along here and make a top stitch if you want to put a pocket on. So you can do that at any stage before you put it all together, but I want to do it now because I want to sew through all my layers. So this pocket can go on the outside. You can either put it, I'd probably put it here, but then that's 2 rows. I think I'll be putting it on the back. So I've decided I'm going to put the pocket on the back there, so I'll leave that till later, till I've quilted it all. So now you pretend you've quilted all of that, you've cut it all, it's all beautiful. Then you're going to turn it over, and I've left that side at 90 degrees and I've curved these, okay? So now what I'm going to do is, instead of using bias binding, I'm going to cut my own binding. Now when you see patterns, they tell you should always cut them on the bias. Not so. You do not have to. So the main thing I always say to people when you're going to cut your fabric is to make sure you start with a straight edge. So you get your fabric and you cut a nice straight edge first. So line your board up, line your ruler up. If you haven't seen these wonderful rulers and cutters, these are called True Cut. And what I love about them is they've got a ridge all the way down your cutter, and so your blade fits over that ridge and you cannot go crooked. Absolutely brilliant. Love, love, love them. Make sure you close it. Once I've done that, I then turn it around this side because that's the way I cut, and I cut my 2.5 inch strips. So 2.5 inch strip is there and there, and remember the true grip. Make sure everything's lined up. You open up your cutter and there's the machine in the road. One moment, I'll just move this across. There we go. So 2.5 inches, line everything up, line the base up, and then you cut it along here. So clever. And I want another one. I don't use my board as much as I just use my cutter and my ruler. I don't line up the board as much as some people do. There we go. And one more. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Then I want to cut 2 1.5 inch strips for my ties. I just missed that little last bit. There's my 2.5 inch. Now I want to cut 2 1.5 inch strips. Alright, so always make sure you start with a nice straight edge. Now this is a 1.5 inch strip, and again, and see how you've got, you can actually put your thumb on there, so you've got really good control. I think you'll like them. They're very, very, very good. So remember, true cut is what they're called. So you can go like that, or you can use your thumb on there. I just hold it like that, then close it so that the blade is closed. Right, so for your ties, you need 4 ties, and they're about 18 inches long. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your tie fabric, and you're going to put your right side to right side. Oh, this is very thick fabric, so you only want to do a 1/4 inch seam. Alright, so this is a very thick fabric, so do a 1/4 inch seam, and they only need to be 18 inches, 16 or 18 inches long. It's in your notes. I think it's 18 inches long. Okay, so I'll just do one to show you. So right side to right side, and just a 1/4 inch seam. It's fine to have the cream thread. It's absolutely not a problem. You're not really going to see anything because it's going to be inside the tie. Okay, now I'd put my needle stop down at this stage because I want to stop with my needle in my work, because then I can rearrange my fabric. But this is a particularly thick cotton fabric. It's very, very nice. It's very, very thick. And then I'm going to sew my bindings. Remember, I haven't done them biased, and I'm going to sew those at right angles. So there's my tie, which I'll pull through in a minute. Leave that there for you. And then I'm going to get my bindings. 1, 2. I sew them all together, but I'll just do 2 for now. And go like that and like that. Make sure they're nice and square. And I'm going to cut off my selvages. So open up my blade, cut and close it. Okay, so what you do to join them is you put right side facing up like so. You get your other right side of your fabric and you put it at right angles like that. Is that quite clear? Alright, so there's it at right angles. Now you're going to stitch from point A to point B. So you're going to stitch, so you can rule a line, and you're going to stitch from here down to your other point. So we'll just draw a line. We'll be able to still see it even though it's darker, because it will be darker to see. Okay, it will still show up. Right, so I'm going to stitch from there to there, like that, and I'm straight stitching across there. So I'll do that now, and you'll be able to see it nice and clear when I've sewn it. Oops, another thing to go around my neck. So clear your work and take it back to your normal stitch length. I had it very long, so I had to reverse it there because I'd forgotten. Come all the way down to here. Then you're going to cut off that 1/4 inch. So a 1/4 inch seam, should I say, a 1/4 inch away from your sewing line. So you're just coming to here, cutting across there, and there you have your fabric stitched at right angles. The reason being, when you fold this up and you're going to put your wrong sides together, you get a nice flat seam. Okay, so you do that first, and then you fold it up and you get a nice flat seam. So you want to join all 3 together in a row. And when we come back, I'm going to show you how you do the corners and how you turn your ties through for your ties on your cover. Okay, so I'll see you soon.